Welcome to Why Journey, first episode. This day we're here to bring you the first episode. And this episode was going to be based in one question. Because this question is going to be one of the most essential questions for everyone that is listening and looking at this podcast. And that question is in regard of a question. And that question is, do you know who you are? And this question that goes beyond what people imagine and needs to be respond. So when I ask you, do you know who you are? It will implicate more than just look at it in the natural perspective. Which means, you're going to say, maybe I'm Peter Fernandez and I come from this and this country. My culture is this, and that. And this is my immediate descendants that But the question is, in order for give it the real thought, the real answer to this question, it will be a couple elements that maybe we are not aware of. And the first element will be awareness. Second element will be peace. And third element will be stillness. Because without awareness, we won't be able to discover how can I obtain peace. Because when we hear the word peace, it gives us an insight of, visualize how peace come into place in our daily living. But in this podcast, I want to, number one, give you an insight of what motivated me to begin this podcast. What motivated me to do this podcast is the awareness of our world condition, our humanity situation. So I think that if we all come together and contribute to the positive way to better anyone's else life, it will be a great achievement. It will be a progress in life. I come to every one of you that are tuning into this podcast, number one, with a humble spirit, humble heart. Because I came to the realization that a true knowledge is given to man from above, from a creator that create our humanity. And this is part of get the truly answer to the question, do you know who you are? Because when we find the root of our existence, not of our descendants, archaeology, geographically or whatever other way you can put it in that perspective. When we go in the deeper level, where I emerged from, where I came from, okay? It's three essential questions that I'm always going to bring up in this podcast for bring it to the attention of every audience that come across this podcast. And those three questions will be, where do I came from? What am I doing here? What is my purpose in this exact moment that I'm living? And where am I going? Three very essential questions that when we put our mind to give it a thought, we start to uncover many things that make perfect logical sense. Majority of people have the answer to this question with a natural perspective, natural point of view, earthly point of view. But when you understand that your formation, yourself, your being is spiritual within, you started meditating, okay, what really makes sense in me is my spirit, my soul, what people refer to as soul. How much do I know about this spirit within myself? And this is the reason why they bring up this question, because by acknowledge that we are not just a physical form, that we are spiritual beings. So when we reconnect, I call that reconnect, the ability to uncover the spiritual essence in every one of us, is a big progress in this journey that we are walking. It's very important that analyze the problem with our humanity is that we're so preoccupied in the external world, which bring us to neglect the internal world, that every one of us should be aware of it. Because when that gets uncovered, it's a really different viewing, different perspective of the concept of life. You really escalate to a different level. And this is why journey has been come to life. Because the purpose of why journey is to enlighten everyone's mind to reconnect with the inner self. Majority of humans, we just thinking one human being that we are. We call ourselves human beings when we refer to our existence in the natural. When you are connected in the spiritual, and the question to this, the further question to this question is, how do I corroborate what David is bringing to our attention? Like I always say, I believe in this podcast. It has been founded under the history and our humanity with proof of evidence the reveal truth. Because when we uncover truth, that's the reference on the manual of instructions that I call the Bible. It's a book that will help us to understand a lot of the concepts that humanity operate on. So when we go through that manual of instructions, we find what I call truth. Because what is the definition of truth? What is the definition of fundamental? Those two words I'm always going to be highlighting in this podcast, because those two words open up a whole different area in our mind. Because fundamental and absolute, what is truth? Truth, to me personally, and again, like I say, I'm telling everybody this with a humble spirit and a humble heart. Truth is that never change. The world is ruled by rules. It's conducted by rules. The majority of man-made rules continually changing. What I call subjective truth. Now, the absolute truth does not change. It remains. And that's who our Creator is. A God that never changes. Especially, it's not in the terminology that you might probably understand this proposition. When it's a set of truth established, that remains. For example, when we go back in our history and you see a king sign a rule that he established, nothing can change it, not even himself. Which goes back to the origin. This is why we need to understand that every given idea emerges from another idea. So we need to get to the root of that given idea in order to define that idea fundamental. So it's very, very necessary that we understand, first of all, who we are. Because if we don't know who we are, we won't be able to understand a lot of other things that will follow behind this question. A lot of other questions that will follow behind this question. So, this is one of the reasons why this podcast is coming to you to help us understand that humans, we can call it many people says double personality, or two persons in one, multiple personality. But this is the misunderstanding that I think that most of us, I'm trying to put something in the level that's practical for everyone to understand. Because like I said, in order for us to comprehend truth, we will have to reconnect to the original, where we merge from, which is enable back a spiritual being. In other words, wake up the spiritual that is within every human that has been numb, or in the manual of instructions reference is dead. It's necessary that I'm going to use only one scripture in this first episode, from one reference for that manual of instructions. And that reference is going to go back, like you can look at it. And this is what that reference says. Listen to it. Now, we heard that exactly how it was bring it to our attention, right? It's in the book of Genesis, chapter 1. That's in the beginning, verse 26 and 27. So for us to have a truthful idea, again, this point of reference, it goes back based on the creation. This podcast believes strongly in the theory of creation. Now, we respect everybody else's theory. If they believe in the evolution theory, that's what the free will, it comes in place. Because free will, it gives you the option to believe one thing or believe the other. You choose. Pay attention, because beginning from this specific episode, pay attention to all these things, because this is going to continue in another podcast. Because even the point that we get to choose what to believe, either in the theory of evolution or in the theory of creation, you executing what has been given to every one of us. It's called free will. And that's one of the only things that remains in every one of us. That free will. that most of the time put us in a compromise situations based on the decisions that we execute daily. And based on those decisions, we create a personality of that drift the life into the positive thinking of the negative thinking. Because it's very, very necessary. Along this podcast, I'm going to talking about different other topics that relate with these points that I'm kind of highlighted right now. I wish I can be able to unfold everything at once, but unfortunately, it's going to have to be by little sections because it's too much information to process in one episode. And it needs to go into a little bit more depth in order for anyone to comprehend and understand. Or at least to keep it and meditate on it and think about it and do your research, because this is the point of this podcast, is to get that call of awakening in everyone's mind to, put to the test or study deeper these propositions that it will be bring to you, and do your own research, because a spiritual life, it doesn't go by what I told you. A spiritual life is not based in theory, it's based in practical and application. Nobody will make you feel any difference the state of mind that you are right now but by yourself. So deep propositions always has been and always will be in our planet, in our society. It's in our behalf how we take our time, which is being getting by every minute more critical for people to focus, to implement those three principles: awareness, peace, and stillness. Keep those three words in mind, because it will be, like I said, brought up again down the road in another episode. Because if you like or it drift your attention this proposition of that we not just a human beings, that we birth, growth, and die. No, we are human being created for continue life, not just this life, but the next life. So this is what we, the true believers, that believe in Jesus Christ and his resurrection, we believe that life has a continuation. Many people put him in a different format. Many people call him in reincarnation. Many people calling into this, into that, but no. Christianity is based on Jesus Christ's resurrection. And it goes by every one of us the same procedure in order to continue to the next life. It's called next, but it's going to be like just continue. So this is why I don't want to, I'm trying to, God has put it in my heart to bring these topics in a different format. The majority of people expose it, because God is sending me, not expecting you to be at the level of discernment and understanding. God is sending me to meet you where you are. It doesn't matter in what situation you are right now. It doesn't matter what kind of confusion is going on in your mind, what kind of what kind of struggles, battles that you're facing at this moment. God is sending me to tell you there is a hope. That He is promised you a helper to go through the valley of death. That's how deep it gets. Which means your little struggle that you're probably facing right now, to God is just a tiny portion. To us, is the end of the world. But God wants to bring this little light to your darkness that you are facing at this moment. And bring these points for you to understand that you've never been alone. You just been distracted, and you haven't been acknowledged or recognized God's presence in your life. Because I guarantee that every human in this planet have experienced a supernatural intervention in their life. But the only thing, nobody has the courage to come forward and says, I admit it. Nothing could have changed my situation, my condition, only a supernatural intervention will be able to get done what it has done. But it takes courage to come forward and admit this. Because majority of us don't have the courage to say, I believe there is a superior being that interferes for us all the time. We just don't recognize it. How many people face death this close? And the merciful and the loving, merciful God intervenes and says, no, it's not your time yet. I have plans for you that you haven't accomplished yet, which means purpose. I have purpose that I predestined to your life specifically. Because this is the thing, people, our mind is so tiny. We process very limited. It's almost 8 billion people on this planet, but to your attention, God created, assigned, predestined a purpose for every single human. So everyone in this planet, is what we understand, has a function to accomplish. Purpose, which means purpose. There was assigned specifically to every one of you. And this is why it takes time. I don't want you to get discouraged. I don't want you to get frustrated. I don't want you to. This is not why this podcast is here for. This podcast is here for create some kind of community that has the awareness that everything that I'm saying, everything that God is sending me to propose to everyone that is going to be tuning this podcast. So this is the thing. It's not for you to get frustrated, to get stressed out, to get anxiety. No, it's to find that tuning in yourself that says, okay, if I'm a spiritual being, how do I study, walking in that path? That's a very good question. A very good question. So, the only thing, this is the simplest way to put it. Open your heart to Jesus Christ and says, Lord, please come to my life. I'm tired of this life that I have been walking all my life. I want to do something different. I want to see if what David is bringing to me at this moment, it can change my life in a different direction. It can improve my life. It can make me become a better person, a better human being, to a human being that uncover his purpose that you predestined to my life. That's all we need to do. And he will take the rest. Because the moment that we accept the proposition, he sends you what is called the helper, for you not to stress out, for you not to worry, for you not to be anxious. The helper will bring to you what is called peace. See, it's two types of peace. Jesus make it clear. The peace of the world is one, and the peace of Jesus is different. See, I'm not here just to bring you theory. I'm here to bring you a living experiences in my own life. That's why the assurance of what I'm saying is because I'm not basing only in theory. Otherwise, my propositions that I'm doing in every topic is going to be, it will have no backbone. But what I'm saying is a living experience that I experienced in my life, it transformed my life. It made me start feeling all this greatness, peace, love, joy, contentment. Okay, because don't get it wrong, because this is the thing. It's the misinterpretation of all the words that has confused human mind. Because when we hear, for example, I'm going to give you one word that has been misinterpreted, misunderstood. The word love, for example. Many people say, but why, if God is loving God, why is so much suffering in the world? That's the question that everybody propose. Disregarding that every majority of man decisions is not God that made it. It's you that make it. Me, I'm the one make my decisions. I'm the one that make the decision. So if I plant a bad fruit, a bad seed, do I'm supposed to collect a good fruit or a bad fruit? Very practical. I'm going to put it in the practical way to everyone. If I'm planting a bad seed and I'm expecting a good fruit, is logic in that or is illogical? Because this is what happened with our society, with our humanity. We make the choices and the decision, and we want to blame God for the outcome. So when we understand this principle, that every choice that I ever made is going to be my decision, because it was given to me a free will to do the right thing or the wrong thing. It's based everything in what I decide to go for. So this is the very, very important thing that we need to be conscientious and analyze. Now, that this is God's punish me, or this is the fruit of my decisions? See, it's simple. That's one of the things that I want to come in here and help you understand. We rooted to justify every wrong that comes on our life, but we are good to credit everything good that comes on. You see what I mean? If it's good, I want the credit. But if it's wrong, somebody else fall. No. Same way you want to embrace the good, you got to embrace the wrong. Because it's a decision, okay? It's a decision. But if you have peace, awareness, and stillness in you, you will learn how to think before you act. Because the typical of our humanity is act and later we think. That's the reason why, we get the outcomes that we get. Because everybody want to get good results, but without making the right decision. So everything has an explanation in life. Nothing is and not give you the right answer. If you search, if you are a person that got curiosity in you, you will find answers to questions. This is the reason why. In order for you to begin a new journey in your life, you're going to have to put yourself to analyze a little bit your life that you've been conducting. Why things are not going the way I want it. Because everybody wants a lot of things. You know that I came to the conclusion myself in my personal life that I am grateful for anything that goes on my life because it was meant to be. Because everybody wants their desires. I want my life to go this and this and this way. But God knows your past, present, and future. Your Creator, who created you in the Genesis, He knows your past, present, and future. So many of the things that you desire, that you want it so bad, He's trying to make you understand that's not the way. Let me show you the way. Because I predestinate your steps. Let me help you. Let me guide you. Let me instruct you. Let me show you. But we also stubborn. We want to do things our way, in our time, and in our conditions. So going back to the word that I said, the misunderstood, love, our society is falling apart. Because parents, we only give our children's love without discipline. And love without discipline is not love. It's confusing a mind of a human being. It's misinstructions to a human being. It's not instructing human. It's not equipment human for the real world. See, until we have the opportunity to have our own children, which is they are not our own, they are still God's children, but we are the stewards of these children's. Until we don't have these experiences, because this is go back to what I'm saying, It's connect things with not just theory. It's connected with experiences. You get to really define truth from fiction, from unreal. Because even when it comes to the two parents, you will have two types of love. The mother is the nurture love, the nurture that child, love, kisses, hugs. The father is the disciplinary love. This is why the dysfunction of our society, because they're only being raised by one of the parents, either the mother or the father. So that was the desire, the creator design? No. That's the choice the humans we made. That's different. But who we blame? God. Do you see what I mean? Do you see what I'm trying to say here? It's pretty simple. It's not complicated, man. You know, it's so much philosophy out there in the world. So much theology and philosophy. I'm not here with a theology instructions to nobody. I'm here with like I said, with a humble spirit, a humble heart, using the instruction that the creator provide to me as Sam is provide to you. It's not complicated. It's not complicated. It's when we understand truth. Some people will say to you, you are not what you profess because you do this, and that, and that. Because that's how everybody does with God. God is the same thing. God, so many people put God like the bad guy of the movie. Disregarded that he's the one that gives you the breath of life. So your breath belongs to him. And you still blaming him for you being alive. For you having the opportunity to make a difference in this world, to make a difference in our society, to make a difference in our humanity. So we still sit back and blaming God for it. But he's still sustaining you. Because he wants you to come home. Because that's the reason why he gave his only begotten Son. That for whoever believe in him don't perish, but have everlasting life. Do you see the implications here? That's the love of God. And everybody just talking about, mean God, this and that, why if he doesn't do this. But nobody says, if you're a parent, just put yourself in his shoes and says, would I give my children, my son, my only son that I love dearly, would I be able to give him away for a bunch of sinners, drug addicts, thief, for all these people that do nothing but bad in our society? Would I be the one to give my only son to save all these people? Just it's simple to put yourself in, when you have children, you know the depth of the love towards that children. And it's not human being that will say, I will do that. Because you won't be honest. You won't be honest. See, our God's love go beyond any human comprehension. And this is why it It gets complicated to people because they don't see it that way. They don't process that way. They can't comprehend it that way. So we're gonna wrap it up. I wish I can expand this, but time is, But just keep in mind that the proposition, the only question that come to your table today, it was, do you know who you are? Meditate on this question. Think about it. Because this question goes deeper than anybody can ever imagine. Because when we connect with the source, we find meaning, we find purpose, we find answers to questions. Jesus said many, many quotes that amaze me, that I put my mind to process what exactly he's saying. It hasn't been any other teacher like him, and it never will be. Because when you put your mind to what he says, it blows your mind. It makes you to realize, man, truthfully, Jesus is the Son of God. He is God that came down and took a form, not of a royalty king, no. He took a form of servant to teach us the instructions. Serve one another, because that's who I am. Now you get why I'm here, right? Now you understand why I'm here. Talking about this, all these points, that it will be many, many different episodes that it's going to come to realize we need to meditate more. We need to accept God's peace in our heart and our mind in order to learn how to be still. Learn how to have awareness to define the right from wrong, to make a better choices in life. Believe me, this is what we grow up hearing, seeing, and that's what we have learned. All the propositions that has been done to us and continue doing it every day. Now it's even worse, because now we have all kinds of, technology exposing thousands, if not millions, of propositions that will steal away the peace, that awareness, and the stillness. So this is the first podcast. Like I say, I wish I can extend this more, but it will be a next episode. My suggestion to you, if you find that these topics are interesting, or you find it, helpful to you or to other or any other person, subscribe to this channel, and share it with other people, because this is what God created us for, to work collectively, to work. The problem with us is it's just me, the ego. I'm going to talk about many different things that it has destroyed our humanity, our minds. But It's not everything is lost. It's a still opportunity to give God, your creator, the opportunity to let me see how, if it's any other way, because I'm only constantly under anxiety, depression, stress, fear, confusion, all these things, addictions, all these things that we want to mask the problem, but we never will get to the root of the problem. The solution is find the solution of the problem. Don't just put a band-aid on the big wound. Find the cure. That's what we need to do in the spiritual route. Because we are, believe me, when we uncover that part of us, it's a wonderful thing. It's a great thing. So this is why I'm here, because I know the outcome. I know the results. I know what you really find: love, joy, peace, all this contentment, gentleness, faithfulness, self-control. You find all these things that you find is so useful to your life, so fulfilling. You feel like that gap finally got filled up. That gap that you have in your heart right now, that you seeking to fill it up with this, and the other, it will never get filled up. It won't. Because you're neglecting your inner world. Please understand this. We've been focused in the outer world, letting all the things from the outer world affect our inner world. And that's why our life is in the mode that it is. But I can assure you that you open your heart to Jesus Christ, and He will give you back your life. He will give you back your hope. He will give you back that peace, that joy that never ends. Watch it. Be careful, because I'm not saying, watch this. I want to, when I make a podcast, I don't want to leave things floating and that's why I don't want to bring different subjects, because I want to be able to engage in that part and be able to bring some kind of understanding. When I say joy, that doesn't mean that you won't have no more struggles in your life. That doesn't mean that you won't have more difficulties in your life. No. But that joy will overcome any obstacle, any circumstances that you come forward. That peace will never be taken away. I'm telling you, because I know, I experience this. Okay? Just the past couple of years, just the past year, I had a situation that I have to remain still. Maintain that peace for my life to not get distorted. But when you walk and you conquer that situation and it gets over, you say, wow, whew, what a relief. That's what I'm talking about. That peace and that joy will remain. That's the difference. Guarantee you, it will remain. It won't be taken away. Yeah, the outer world will try it to take that away from you. The propositions, it will try to steal that away from you. But it's in your behalf which choice you make. The right one or the wrong one. It's not complicated. It's easy. Please subscribe if you find these topics helpful. Hit the belt and, help me to bring this podcast to the level that God predestined to get, to reach as many people in the world, not in just United States. Because this is one of the benefits of technology, that we can reach people at the other end of the world. So let's together make that happen. Let's do that little contribution in our behalf. Okay, this sounds like it's gonna help a lot of people. So let's push this guy to finish that task that he's being assigned to do. Because this is the way I look at it. I only am here because in my heart I feel that I have a purpose to accomplish in this earth, in this journey that I am right now, same as you. You have a purpose. We all do. We're just being neglected. So, my Lord bless everyone that's watching this podcast. And please be tuned. Subscribe. The reason of the subscription is because it helped me not to search for you. It will be automatically every time I upload a video, it will get to you automatically. That's the main reason of subscribe. Because when you subscribe, the next episode, when I make it and put it up, it will come to you automatically. Until next Why Journey.